Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Average Gamer Podcast. Whoa, music messing up there. Whew. Yeah, welcome back, everyone, to the Average Gamer Podcast. My name's Jordan of Classic Evolved, and another week, some more news to talk about over Call of Duty and franchising, and things are happening. So let's talk about it. So over the last week, got a lot of news on franchising. Well, when I say a lot of news, it's not like a whole lot of news, but it's important news that we need to talk about. So, franchising Call of Duty, obviously next year. I've talked about this like a million times. If you don't know what it is now, go back. But pretty much city-based teams. They're getting rid of everything from the past, and they're throwing it in the air. And we're starting a new year with new names, new teams, blah, 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 blah. So right now we have, how many teams do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams in the franchise league. And they said they want around 28. Now for the first season, I think they'll take anything over 10. But let's look at the teams. So we got Atlanta, which is owned by Atlanta Esports. They also have an Overwatch team, Atlanta Reign. The other team's Dallas, which is owned by Team Envy, obviously Envy, and the Overwatch team there is the Dallas Fuel. Then there's New York, whose owner is Sterling VC, New York Mets, and then they also have an Overwatch team, the New York Excelsior. Then we got Paris, Contact Gaming, in their Overwatch team's called Paris Eternal. Then the other team, we got Toronto, which is Overactive Media, but for Call of Duty, that's Splice. And then they got the Toronto Defiant for Overwatch. Then Los Angeles is not Hector's Optic Gaming, it's Immortals Optic Gaming. Fantastic, you love to see that, I'm kidding. Then we got Minnesota, which is the Minnesota Vikings. COD Minnesota, and that's a bit of an interesting team. We'll see. We always talk about that, but that's an interesting one. Then we got Florida, which is owned by Misfits, Miami Heat, and then actually the Overwatch team there is called the Florida Mayhem. I didn't even know there was an Overwatch Florida team. And then the other team, also in LA, is it's the LA Rams and Arsenal co-owner, Kroenke SNE. And the Overwatch team out there is the LA Gladiators. But right there, 9 teams. Not 9 cities per se, because, well, it's not 9 cities. It is 8, because Los Angeles, there's 2 teams. But, at least there's 9 teams in the league. I didn't know how quickly teams would sign up. And I think, the $25 million buy-in is a big thing why more teams aren't signing up, but we also have to talk about the buy-in and everything that's happening. So, big news, 100 Thieves will not participate in the Call of Duty Franchise League, at least this year, if not for the rest of time. And, that is insanity. So first off, we're losing Optic Gaming, and I've heard so many times, no, we're not losing Optic Gaming. They're in the league, but if you know Optic Gaming, we're losing Optic Gaming. It's not Optic Gaming, it's Immortals. They just kind of bought the name and are trying to take it with them. And to us true fans, I'm not supporting that. But you're already seeing a big issue with franchising in Call of Duty. Franchising in Overwatch worked because Overwatch didn't have a scene before the franchising, really. There wasn't much going on there. Call of Duty, and I don't think people are taking this into account, has a history and a legacy that obviously no one, or these owners and the whole franchising system, it doesn't care about. I mean, Call of Duty goes back so long, like years and years and years of, building up these players. When Scump first started back in the day, he was playing in the he was playing Call of Duty Black Ops. I remember watching Call of Duty Black Ops, and there was like that MLG event for it when Scump was playing, like when they first started out, and then Scump started making his name in Black Ops 2, and obviously now everyone knows who he is. Even a lot of people who aren't in the Call of Duty scene know who he is. And, you know, orgs were coming up at that same time. I mean, Optic Gaming had pretty much was already like a huge org for, you know, what gaming was at the time, even around Black Ops 2 when most orgs were just kind of coming up. But if you think about it, right now, the Call of Duty Franchise League, they don't have 100 Thieves, they don't have Reciprocity, they don't have Gen G, they don't have Luminosity, they don't have FaZe Clan, and they don't have Optic. Like, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the names in Call of Duty, and you don't have them in your franchise league. And I don't think they understand that people are fans of these organizations. Like, man, like Overwatch, I can see how it worked. You know, these franchising happened. Overwatch didn't really have a system yet. They didn't really have a league yet. And so people were kind of like, oh, I'll just kind of go for the closest city or whatever. And people kind of just went with that. But Call of Duty's been an esport. It's been a thing for so long. And to just throw that out the window pretty much. And on top of that, not have any of the biggest names in the scene in your league. I don't think this franchising thing's going to turn out the way they hope. Now, like for me, I'm not really going to watch a whole lot of this franchising league. I'll watch a little bit just to see how it like is run, how it looks compared to Overwatch's league or whatever. Pretty sure it's probably going to be identical because why would they change anything from that? I mean, that's made a ton of money, but I don't think they're going to get the viewers they're hoping. Like Call of Duty doesn't have that big of a viewership. And just because you say put franchising and you put city names over the org names, that doesn't just magically make people want to watch the game. I think Call of Duty, as good as I think it is, and as good as, you know, a lot of other people in the AM scene or even in the competitive scene or even just people who watch competitive Call of Duty think Call of Duty's good and whatnot, people just don't watch it that much. And it sucks, but it's the truth. And I don't think franchising is going to really change that. If maybe we'll get, for the first event when people want to see what it looks like, we'll get a few more, you know, viewers. But I'm pretty sure we're going to sit around probably the 50K mark on, you know, during, and maybe even lower than that, maybe a little above that, you know, on your average, you know, league match day on like a Sunday. I don't think it's going to be in the 100Ks, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I don't think slapping franchising over that's going to make a difference. And then on top of that, not having any of those names, you know, 100 Thieves, Reciprocity, Gen G, Luminosity, FaZe Clan, and the real Optic Gaming in your franchise league, it just is not a good look. And it kind of sucks to see that this is all happening. And obviously, I think personally, 100 Thieves made a great decision. Why are you going to throw millions of dollars away? And we're not just talking the 25 million buy-in, which is a lot of money. We're talking the salaries for the players. Yeah, it's a base 50,000, but if you want some good players on your team, you're going to be paying millions over the year of Modern Warfare and the first year of franchising. You're going to be paying millions on top of the 25 million buy-in, plus, you know, travel, food, hotel, everything. It adds up. They're going to be paying millions outside of just buying a spot, and it's not worth it when we know that Call of Duty doesn't have the biggest viewership. Why would you spend 25 million just to buy into a franchise league for Call of Duty? Just because you slap franchising on it doesn't mean it's magically going to get more viewers. Do I think Call of Duty could grow because of this? I think so. I'm optimistic, but I don't. I think 100 Thieves made a good decision. And obviously Nadeshot, you know, Call of Duty, that's his thing, you know? And, you know, he posted the video and I was like, geez, man. Because you can obviously tell he wants a Call of Duty team. It's just, it's not realistic. at the moment, which sucks. And I don't really know what else to say about it. It's like it's just kind of sad to see, and I guess we'll see what happens with franchising. But I'm optimistic, but at the same time, I have some fears that it's not gonna be up to the expectation that Activision's hoping for. And but I guess we'll see. But obviously, not having those names. I mean, FaZe Clan could still possibly be in the league. They never said they're not going to, but at the current moment, they're not in the league. Same with Reciprocity, who's been in forever. Luminosity, who's been in Call of Duty forever. 100 Thieves, obviously, they only started this year, but it's 100 Thieves. That's rivalry. That's like, who's Optic gonna play, or anyone for that matter? How are we're gonna have to start new? It's like a fresh slate for new rivalries and stuff when we already have 10 plus years of rivalry behind us. Like, why scrap that? And that's kind of what I feel like franchising does. It has a history, Call of Duty. It's not Overwatch, and we'll see what happens through all of it. But over the past day, 2 days, whatever, got into a little Twitter beef. So I was reading a tweet, and it's 100 Thieves absence from the Call of Duty League. Shouldn't be. It's not a surprise because there's no data. There's no anything for this league. With a $25 million investment, it's a huge risk. Plus the millions on top of that for the players and their travel and everything. When you've yet to see anything except for the Overwatch League, which is a total different game. I mean, we're talking Call of Duty Champs this year at max hit what? I think maybe in the 200K viewers. I don't even know if they hit that, that's not good for your final tournament in your game, the big one. Like, come on now. But one thing, so there's this guy, his name's like Josh Olin, and he worked at Activision, I think, and now I don't know who he is. He has a verified mark, so whatever. But he started talking on this topic, and I was like, what are we talking about? And he was saying how these younger, less proven companies are not going with Activision, a Fortune 500 company's plan. This is astonishing. And I was like, what? Yeah, because why would you join a league with a $25 million buy-in when you've seen nothing that shows that the league's going to be beneficial at all and that you're going to make anything from it? And here's the thing. This other guy, he responded, Activision has previously had anti-consumer practices in almost every Call of Duty, and that's true. Plus, no team that built a community will be in the league. No Reciprocity, no Optic, unless you think Immortals Optic is, it's not. All right. And possibly no FaZe. Like, the odds that this turns out good it's pretty low. I don't think they understand that Call of Duty has a fan base behind it and a culture behind it that's just kind of getting thrown out the window with franchising a little bit. And then he responded, this Josh Olin guy, and he was like, he personally thinks Call of Duty gave these people platforms, a massive platform, to be where they are now. And they did it for free. They gave this platform to play on for free. And now Activision's just changing the free part to a $25 million buy-in. And I was sitting there reading this like, this guy is so dumb. Oh my goodness. Like, first of all, I tweeted, any game dev with the mindset that their game was the reason their community even exists, their game is bigger than their community, that their community didn't build them, is instantly set to fail. Your community makes you. If no one plays your game and you think you have the greatest game of all time, it doesn't matter. No one's playing your game. Like, COD wouldn't be a thing. It wouldn't be anywhere close to what it is now without, guys like Ali, T Martin, Hex, people who took chances at going competitive before Activision got their hands into the competitive scene once they saw the money that could be made. Like before, we're talking back in the day, Activision wasn't really supporting the competitive scene. You had guys risking a lot of money like Hex, like guys over at FaZe, so many people. They're risking money for this chance and this, vision for Call of Duty, and now it's blown up, and Activision and this guy, this Josh Allen guy, wants to pretend like Activision was their platform. Then on top of that, he said they gave these clans and brands a massive platform to play on for free, and Activision's just changing that. But what platform did they give to play on for free? Call of Duty's not free. It's $60. And to go to these events, it's not free for the majority of people who go to these events. And the majority of people who go to these events are people who are playing in the open brackets. I don't know if people understand this. Most people at these Call of Duty events that you see in the crowd when the camera spans over, that when you're watching on Twitch, are literally kids who are playing in the open bracket. There's 100 plus, even 200 plus teams, I think. When I went to the LA event, there was hundreds of kids playing at this open event, and as they lost, or as they didn't make it in the open bracket, they just moved over and started watching in the theater, where all the games were being played. But it wasn't free to go to these events. It was $300 plus for a team pass. Added onto that, travel cost, hotel cost, and it's like Activision probably thinks that this 25 million buy-in is like a payback for all that they've done, when it's like, what? I'm just trying to process the tweet, because it's like, this is the stupidest thing. Like, I think this Josh Allen guy was advocating that Activision is just collecting their dues from creating everyone in the COD scene, when these people built the COD scene. Activision had no part into it except for making the game. But if you think about it, if there was no content creators with Call of Duty, nothing, I don't think Call of Duty would be alive today. And, luckily, they have guys like Optic Hex in the community, and other org owners and other players, Scump. And it's just sad to see that there's people who were game devs. I think he was a game dev who actually have the mindset like that. And it's like, how do you have that mindset? I will never understand how you have that mindset as a game dev, where you think you're bigger than your community. Like, if I were a game dev, on the daily or every week or every couple weeks, I'd put out polls, asking for feedback, what they think's broken, what they want fixed, all these different things. But I was just trying to say, I was trying to say that without, guys like Hex and all these players and all these org owners, Call of Duty wouldn't be even slightly what it is, especially in the competitive scene. I was more focused on the competitive scene. The competitive scene wouldn't be alive without people taking risks, and building teams and sending them out to little MLG events, not Activision events, MLG events, which back in the day had nothing to do with Activision. So it's like, it's weird, to see that there's actually people who think like that. It's just like, I don't know, but obviously we'll see where the Call of Duty scene goes. Obviously, it's not looking pretty right now. No FaZe, no Optic, Reciprocity, Luminosity, Gen G. It's like, who is in this league? Who am I supposed to support? I'm not going to support just random names because they're my city. Like, I don't know. But we'll see what's happening. And then on top of that, Mr. Adam Apicella, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. I never knew how to pronounce his last name. One of the founding guys at MLG. He's been running these events forever. Since forever. It's crazy. He's been running them forever. I've seen his tweets every year for like I don't even know for a long time. This guy's been working in the scene. I've known he's been working in the scene. Absolute legend, and he's he's officially done with the league. And I actually want to find like the official tweet here. Yeah, after working on close to 60 games and hundreds of live events and programs, I've decided to leave Activision Blizzard. More importantly, after 16 years of my time as a member of the MLG family, it has come to an end. And I just stop and I think about that. He's leaving Activision Blizzard, but MLG wasn't always, like that. Before it was just MLG. And obviously now Activision's got their hands and everything, so and is he leaving because of that? Who knows? Did they say we don't need you anymore? Thanks for what you've done, but peace out? Like I don't know what happened there. I don't want to be mean, but it's sad to see someone like that leaving the scene who's done so much work for the competitive Call of Duty. So we'll see where he goes next. We'll see what happens, but thank you for your service, man, Mr. Adam, Mr. Adam App. But yeah, so obviously we want to be optimistic about Call of Duty, but we'll see where it goes. I've been ranting because I love Call of Duty, and to see it kind of go where it's going is it's sucky. But what else is happening? Well, Classic WoW came out this week. Now, I've never really played Classic WoW, if we're being honest, but I started to get into it a little bit. Just a little bit. And as you can see on the screen here, it looks like I'm currently... Wait, I died? Where did I die? Oh. Yeah, I was running into a wall, so I didn't disconnect from the server. As you can see, I'm a level 5 rogue. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. That's funny. But yeah, I'm a level 5 rogue right now on this account. I have another server I'm on when this server fills up, because this server is like a full server most of the time. And I wanted to get into a more full server, so when the hype kind of dies down and people start to leave, I'll still be in a pretty populated server. The other server I'm in stays around medium population, so I kind of play in that one just to kind of, get the practice in and kind of see what it's like leveling up, because I've never played WoW. I've never played World of Warcraft in general, and seeing it now, and playing it now, I don't know, it's pretty fun. I love, I used to play a lot of RPGs back in the day, like old school, I guess. Toontown, for one of them, was just an absolute grind of a game. And then another game, Wizard 101. I'm trying to think of the other ones I've played, and I'm totally blanking. But yeah, those are some examples. I love games where you just grind. You grind, you do missions, you grind to get to some raids. And that's kind of what World of Warcraft is, or at least the classic version is. And I've kind of been enjoying myself just grinding, doing missions, chilling, watching something on the side. It's pretty relaxing. Though, I will say Classic WoW, it's hard. You got to be careful not to pull too many mobs or else you'll die, especially if you pull 2 mobs that are even 1 level higher than you. Like in most RPGs, like even in Elder Scrolls Online, if you pull a mob, right, it's not that big a deal. If you pull 2, it's not that big a deal. But in this game, it's like, geez. And in this game, you got to be careful, because you might pull a mob, and then the other one, you're not even attacking it, but it's one of those aggro mobs that attacks if you get near it, and it somehow just moved close to you while you were in the middle of fighting, and then you have 2 creatures on you, and you're dead. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the amount of times I've died. Obviously, it's my first time playing, so it's like, okay, I'm just getting, I'm learning as I go, but it gets a little frustrating. It is a little frustrating. But I'm enjoying myself on Classic WoW. It's fun. It is fun, and a lot of people are playing it. ton of people are playing it, but the it's not dead yet, but like the first couple day hype is kind of gone. Like Asmongold had 100K plus viewers, and now he's at around 60, which is still a lot for Twitch, but you know, it's not what he was at. So obviously, like the first couple day hype. I mean, World of Warcraft's still the top game, so. And so literally, wait, what? I guess someone is about to hit level 60, which is, dude, people just grind. It's incredible. But a lot of these people have already played the game before, so they know what they're doing, I guess. The speedrunners, you know? But yeah, that's kind of what we had to talk about. Mostly Call of Duty. Sucks what's happening. We'll see what happens, though. Optimistic. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. And really, there's not a whole lot else to talk about. I guess sports-wise, we got the Champions League draws. Barcelona's playing DVB, Borussia Dortmund, in their first game, and I don't know who else they play. I haven't really looked at it, but I know they play Borussia Dortmund September 16th or something. So that's pretty good. I know they play this Saturday, and it's actually like 9 o'clock in the morning, which sucks. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I kind of want to wake up and watch, but I got to see the lineup for the game because I'm not trying to just, I guess, sit there and watch a game. Like, I want to see Messi play, and Messi's obviously been injured, so I got to look at the lineup for the game and see if Messi's likely to play. But, yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of all we have to talk about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, got the news down, the Call of Duty news, and I will see you guys, I guess, all in the next one. I'm gonna be grinding some classic WoW in the meantime, and waiting for more news with the Call of Duty scene. And as we get it, I'll try to keep it updated. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next Average Gamer podcast.